Hey guys, Timothy Roberts here. In this video, I want to talk about this cymbal that I just finished on a commission. It is a 22-inch Labyrinth cymbal, and it is a cymbal that the customer reached out to me and asked about creating a Bill Stewart type cymbal. My Bill Stewart-y kind of complex, gritty cymbals are called the Labyrinth series, and so we went about making this cymbal. So the references that the customer sent were some videos that I had made of the original videos I had made of me aiming to capture Bill's iconic sound. And he was referencing those and giving me a little bit of extra information, like he wants some tweaks made to that design so that it would function in a little bit of a different way. And this is what we came up with. So for those of you that don't know, Bill Stewart is an amazing jazz drummer, and he is known for his complex and tall profile cymbal sounds. And they record wonderfully. They're beautiful cymbals. Behind them, they can be a little bit ornery and a little bit abrasive to the ear. And that's just the thing that he has developed. His touch is unbelievable. His technique is amazing, and his musicality is really #1 in my opinion. But his cymbal sounds are designed to be tall shapes, which gives you sort of a choked crash sound, so the crash isn't going to sustain forever and ever. He also does cool things like he clamps the wing nuts. He adds an extra felt and clamps the wing nuts really hard on his cymbals to squeeze the cymbal really hard so that it chokes the crash sound, and it gives kind of a gated crash effect, which this is really effective for him when he's trying to do a quick accent and he wants that cymbal to just hit and die, so that it's right back to his stick definition, his stick patterns that he's playing. So this is a cymbal that's designed at getting in the same ballpark of that sound without having the abrasive, ornery things that those cymbals can have. They can have this really sharp, high-pitched thing that just hurts your ears when you're playing it. So whenever I make a Labyrinth cymbal, I'm kind of aiming in the direction of something that's a little bit more pleasing to listen to when you're sitting behind it. It does give you less aggression and less of a smoky, growly, dragon's breath thing when the thing is recorded or translated live, but I find that to be a sacrifice I'm willing to make for a cymbal that actually feels inviting to play, because in the end, if we're not inspired playing the cymbal, then no one's going to enjoy listening to us. So this cymbal in particular, I made it and had round one with it, and it was just lacking like a tiny bit of growl and a tiny bit of control. It was still a little bit washy, and so you can probably see in the light here that there's quite a few of these big hammer marks, and that's a process called overhammering, where you just go in with a heavy pointed Turk hammer and you just swing like your life depends on it, and you create these big divots. And those big divots give the sense of control, because The lathing grooves, the tonal grooves, are where the sound travels up and down the cymbal. So you can imagine if your road is nice and smooth, your sound is going to be nice and smooth and flowing. But if your road has these massive potholes, it's going to be kind of bumpy and a little bit of an uncomfortable ride. It's like not going to be this nice smooth ride. It's going to be kind of an interesting, fun adventure. That's the way I think of topography and cymbals, is when you have these deep changes and troughs and peaks and valleys and all that, you have a more complex, interesting sound, but it also dries the sound up. You don't have as much shimmering spread that can last for a long time. So this allows the thing to be fairly controlled, and it stretches the frequencies in a way that allows that stick definition to sit on top. And a cymbal like this is all about stick definition and the bed of sound that's coming in under that stick definition. It's not about the crash. It's not about the sustain so much. So we want to be able to hear, when I'm playing the ride, we want to be able to hear this like way out front stick definition that's nice and clicky and woody. And if we do things like use the click grip, you can get this nice knocking sound, clicking sound, and that just helps make that stick definition like the primary focus of the cymbal. And then what comes along with that is this nice bed of sound that's way lower in the mix that kind of just gives this sense of intrigue. And because obviously if it was just that knocking sound, it wouldn't be very interesting. So it's got to have a bed of something, but you just don't want that bed to kind of come up and sort of overshadow. You don't want those frequencies to be kind of squished with a cymbal like that. Otherwise, it's just going to feel like white noise to you. But a cymbal like this is going to have that stretched apart frequency thing, and it's going to have this ability to really explore the cymbal to get different sounds out of it. Then if we were to have like a wing nut, I have a different kind of setup on these stands, but if we were to have a wing nut to kind of clamp the sound, you can imagine that goes even one step further to kind of clear out some of that sustain. So that's this cymbal. It's a 22-inch Labyrinth. I believe it weighs around 2,315 grams. So it's a thin cymbal. You know, this is not by any means a heavy cymbal. And I could copy and paste this sort of design, all the aspects of this design, and put that 200 grams heavier, and you would be dialing it more towards stick definition and more towards cut and volume. And I could take it the opposite direction, go as thin as 21 or 2,200 grams, and dial it more towards the stick definition, thriving at lower volumes. So this 2,315 gram range is kind of like, to me, a really nice middle ground. I kind of see it as the thinnest that I like making cymbals in general, but some guys love really thin cymbals. Some guys are wanting to play 22s that weigh 2,000 grams, which is all fine with me. I mean, whatever works for you in your musical situations. I just find that there's a limit to what those cymbals can do, and they're not going to really translate out front of the drum set unless you're playing in a very controlled environment. Maybe you're using it for recording. Maybe you're using it in like cafe gigs, restaurant gigs where you need to play super quiet. But even then, you want to rely more on your technique than the cymbal. You don't want the cymbal to be so thin that there's a lot of wash and spread, because that's going to get in the way of the patterns being heard. So you're being able to rely most on your technique and then find a cymbal that can actually come alongside your technique, help you accomplish your musical goal. That's going to be what you want to do. So this is a commission for a customer. I'm going to send this off to them in the next day or so. And I do these kinds of commissions all the time. I have a form on my website, and in it you choose the size, and then you can choose of the 5 series that I offer currently. And if you've heard my cymbals before, you kind of know possibly what each of those series is meant to accomplish. We've got the Labyrinth series, which is the complex and dirty thing. We've got the Tributary, which is like old K, funky, earthy. We've got the Foundation, which is drier but more articulate and more cutting, more present. Then we've got the Landmark, which is kind of my flagship line, warm, nuanced, kind of Spizzichino-like. And then we've got the Prism series, and the Prism series is like brighter, a little bit brighter sounds in a dark cymbal. So imagine like an old K, but freshly made. So that's the series that I offer. And beyond that, you can go for a custom tailored option, which is just if you have a specific cymbal sound, like you love this one record and the cymbal that the guy plays on this one part of the piano solo, and you're like, that cymbal sounds amazing. Can we try to make something that's aimed in that direction? That would be the custom tailored option. With all of my cymbal commissions, I'm emailing back and forth with the customer a ton. We're dialing in specs. I'm asking questions like, what kind of sticks do you use? What kind of environments do you play in? I'm asking for videos of you playing so I can kind of get a sense for your style. All of that kind of stuff helps me determine how to take your goal and turn it into reality for you to get a cymbal that you're going to truly love. So that's the video. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think of this cymbal. And if you have any questions about the process of commissioning a cymbal, and if you have any questions about the independent cymbalsmith thing, because it is different. And I'm going to be making videos on this in the future, but there is such a wide chasm of difference between a machine-made cymbal and a handmade cymbal. We're going to talk about it in future videos. So yeah, drop a comment below, hit the subscribe and the bell if you want notifications, and keep an eye out for the next video. My name is Timothy Roberts. Thanks for watching. I am no Bill Stewart.